Obviously, of course, I still love you.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
She saw this, she's so that, just, oh,
If it was Thais's and Sophie's goals to embarrass themselves, they succeeded. Hello everyone and welcome back to Chisme Corner. Today we are going to be covering the last part of this horrific tell-all, and we are finally done with Happily Ever After. As always, before we keep going, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's cover this episode because I have a lot to say. According to Sophie, Loren was incredibly opinionated on all the things she had to say about the couples.
I asked the appropriate questions, and I was so prepared for everybody.
Which honestly is true, okay? Loren was asking questions, and if you guys had questions for her, then why didn't you ask them yourself?
you guys don't show any of the bad side, and it looks like
What do
very
you mean?
positive.
What do you mean they didn't show any of the bad side? Yes, they did. If they did not please you with portraying a relationship like the one that you have with Rob, whose fault is that? Really think about that. You're just embarrassing yourself over and over again. When Loren asked them, ask me the questions that you have, they say that there's no questions.
Did you not see us fighting? I kind of get it now.
That's very rude. You don't even know me and Rob.
And you also don't know Loren and Alexi, and it seems like you have a lot to say. Tell me, do you blame Loren for saying what she said? Even Rob is sitting there like, I'm minding my own business. I'm not involving in this shit because it's not worth it. You are attacking one of the couples that has one of the strongest relationships. Even if we don't like them and we don't agree with how their relationship works, them and Kobe and Emily have one of the best relationships. You're just so jealous that you can't have a relationship like the one that Loren has with Alexi. You do realize that you made the decision to be with this man. So why are you so frustrated that Loren made the decision to be with Alexi? Sophie also wants to make the argument that Loren has said things like, I'm teen woman, I'm on old woman's side, and Loren has never said that, okay? Like, Loren is one of those people that would side with whichever side is right, except for lately, because lately she's been going on Instagram saying that she kind of is on Angela's side and excusing her behavior, which is evil. Other than that, what are you expecting her to do? You want her to side with you and with Thais when both of you came in attacking her for no freaking reason? Just say that you're envious of her marriage. Say it. Say that you wish you had what she has.
Now, why you say, and I didn't defend myself.
Now Thais stands up to tell Loren that she was talking crap about her. And she brings up that Loren was talking crap about her. How was she talking crap about her? By saying that John is fun and amazing and that Thais is mean. And isn't that true? Is that really talking crap about someone when you're just being honest? You do so much talking, Thais, but you don't stand on business because you get up and you talk all this crap and then you go back and you sit down with your husband. Loren was agreeing with everyone that Patrick should be defending you. She had your back earlier, and right now you're just acting like an envious little snake. Sophie's telling her that she thinks she's better than anyone, and Loren's like, I am not. I was sitting there waiting for you guys' questions when nothing came. What am I supposed to do? And then Thais goes, you're just selfish. Shut it.
You're such selfish. Look,
Loren turns to Patrick and she's like, I'm literally siding with your husband that he should defend you. And I think we all know what she was trying to say, okay? I'm not going to pick on her words. But she was saying, I was siding with you that your husband should be defending you. And Thais goes, you don't talk to no one like that. You don't talk to no one like that.
you don't talk
Why
to
isn't
someone
he
like
defending you
that.
right now?
You are talking to her that way.
Bombastic side eye.
And then she goes, we're not involving our husbands. We're not involving our husbands. You are technically involving her husband too by saying that they needed to stay, by saying that they think that they're better than everyone else.
You act like that. Are you out of your mind?
I think so many words would have come out of my mouth. I'm not really good with conflict, but when I start talking, all you hear is cuss words. So Loren did a great job because I would have gone insane. I would have said many things that I would have regretted later on. So I think that we should be grateful that Loren didn't say many of the things that she should have said.
In fairness, why don't you ask her the questions
Ask me the
that you didn't have the
questions.
courage to ask her?
And they have nothing to ask. Their entire argument at this point is that they don't think it's fair that Loren is leaving early and she doesn't have to deal with their BS later on at the house. Let's not forget that this woman right here has 3 kids at home waiting for her. Alexi has to go back to work tomorrow, and you guys want her to stay. If you guys are going to pay for her babysitter, if you guys are going to deal with all the repercussions later on, then fine, let's do this, right? She even told you guys, if you guys are willing to pay for my babysitter, then fine, I'll stay. But that is not going to be the case, right? Don't get mad at her just because she can't accommodate her schedule to fit your tantrum. Now, Loren is telling Thais, if there's anything that I ever said behind your back, I need you to tell me. Tell me right now. Let's fix it. And Thais is like, you said it on Pillow Talk. You were like, oh my God, she's all of this. She's all of that. And that's exactly how she's acting.
She saw this, she saw that. Just, oh, I don't like her.
My level of respect for Thais is all the way to the floor right now. This is so embarrassing. And Thais is like, oh yeah, you're so fake. You wish my daughter happy birthday. That's how you're so fake. Wishing your daughter happy birthday is fake? Oh my God. Patrick is sitting there like, please just end this. I am so tired of this argument. And then Loren just tells Thais, you know, like, don't wish ill on any of you. I don't think I'm better than anyone. And that's all. And then Sophie on the side is like, okay, then catch your flight.
Very, very mature.
She is such a bitch.
Stop, go. This is it.
Sorry, but you deserved it. You deserved it. You started this, and yeah, I would have called you the same thing. In worse.
There's no way if she gets like that, they don't have arguments
You're
like
just
that.
like,
I personally don't think that Alexi provokes Loren to the point that you provoked her today. I am a person that can talk to my husband very nicely. We can have incredibly mature conversations when we are arguing with one another. That's not me with other people.
Anxiety attack.
I suffer from Tourette's syndrome,
Okay, then
anxiety,
you should understand.
OCD.
You should understand.
If you give me that type of attitude, then expect the same thing back. Expect for me to get as frustrated as Loren is getting, if not more. That energy that you're giving her, she's giving it to you back. Alexi realizes that this is getting out of hand, so he tells Loren, you know what, let's leave. Let's leave. And I really do appreciate that, because once you're there, there's nothing that brings you down. And honestly, the only thing that will bring me down from that will be my husband. Other than that, I would probably keep screaming. Once I see red, I see red. They start walking out. Actually, right after this, Emily walks out with them.
Fair that they attacked you and then had nothing to say.
She is really sorry that this had to end like this and that they had to leave in such a bad note. Alexi and Loren walk out, and they see also Angela on the side. Loren goes, oh my God, where was my bodyguard when they were attacking me? And I think that is why also Loren is like defending Angela on Instagram, which is so stupid. But Angela tells her that they're only judging her because she's sexier than they are. I was like, okay. But yeah, eventually they just walk out. Now the group of we all have horrible marriages has to stay in the house and pretend to have fun, because now they want to show Loren and Alexi what they miss. When I say horrible marriages, I don't mean Kobe and Emily. I just mean everyone else but them. Because they're like, oh my God, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna have so much fun. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Loren and Alexi are also gonna have fun at home talking shit about you guys. Now Angela goes to say bye to everyone, and she's just like, you know, I'm gonna go home. And they start asking her, what do you mean you're going home? You're not coming to the mansion with us? And she's like, no, everyone's gonna be with their couples and I'm single. And Michael right away is like, no, we're not single. We're not single. Thais asks him what the future is for them, and on the side Liz is like anger management. But Angela says that she's actually gonna go home and get a lawyer because this is it for her, that she already got her answer. And Rob is like,
The PI said that he didn't do the things you were worried about.
Rob, I'm exhausted. I just want to go home.
Angela then starts telling everyone that she's actually gonna get an annulment. So she already knew that she was gonna get an annulment. And then she's like, I'm gonna take my visa back. And Jasmine catches up on this and she goes, what do you mean my visa? It's his visa, right? And she's like, no. When I gave it to him, when I applied for it, I told him that I was doing this for love. And there's no love here. She's like, it's not like all of you he doesn't love me. You all love each other, but he doesn't love me. And Kobe starts stepping in for him. He's just like, it doesn't even make sense. What are you talking about? And she's like, then you take him home. You should have gone home with Kobe. Kobe tells her, you should have seen this coming a long time ago. This is a waste of time. Angela's like, Kobe, why are you standing up for him? He's standing up for him because you're an abuser, Angela. That is why he's standing up for him. And because if no one else is going to do it, he's going to do it. And he's been doing it. So there he is. And if you don't like it, then get your ass out of here right away. That's what you need to do. And then Angela goes,
Kobe, why are you being a male chauvinist?
There's a lot of emotions. Michael, Kobe is standing up for Michael and he's not letting it down. And Angela continues to curse at him over and over again. And I think this is also why she's been so vocal about talking crap about Kobe, because Kobe actually spoke up and against her, which is amazing. The main problem right here is that Angela is treating Michael like he is a property instead of an actual human, telling him that she's gonna take his visa away. It's so dehumanizing to hear someone like Angela say all of these things to Michael, because it just feels like you're dehumanizing immigrants. Jasmine starts crying and she's like, just hearing someone say this is my visa, it just feels horrible. It triggers something in her. Rumor on the street is that actually Jasmine was crying because the night before there was an altercation between Angela and Michael. So there was actually a physical fight that the producers were, shoving under the rug because they didn't want anyone to find out. Again, rumor has it. Those are allegations. And then Ashley and Emily make their way over to Angela, and Ashley's telling Angela, hey, Jasmine is crying. And Angela's like, I don't care. And Angela is also telling Michael that he needs to defend her. He's like, you need to tell Kobe to mind his own business and focus on his own marriage. And Angela's like, you need to stop coming into our country and bringing his male dominant to our and poisoning our woman. Like, if you're going to bring someone up that wants to bring their male dominant behavior to the US, talk about Alexi, because he's the one, not Kobe. But then Kobe makes his way and then he starts telling Angela, I'm only speaking on what I'm seeing right here. And this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing you abuse Michael. Well, he doesn't tell her that, but he's just like, I'm seeing you and I'm seeing all the things that you are doing to Michael.
You just made me have to go take because you're as full of as he is.
That part was funny. At least to me, I was like, okay, that's funny, because what do you mean? Oh, he's bringing up valid points and you just don't like them. That's why you're so upset about it. And Michael tells Kobe, you know what, let's just, please, brother, let it go. Well, just please let me handle this. And then steps away. And as he's stepping away, Kobe's like, it's not time yet. He follows him and Angela crosses Kobe and then she calls him a prick. Anytime that she sees him, she's calling him names. And after she calls him a name, Kobe goes up to Michael and Kobe tells Michael,
give me my visa. That's your personal document. That's something I want you to understand.
You can tell him to shut his...
And Angela starts losing her mind and she's just like, you need to tell him to stop talking to me like that. Did you see how he's talking to me? Did you see how he's yelling at me? And then Michael says, I'll call you later. At this point, Angela is getting in Kobe's face and yelling at him. It genuinely feels like she wants to punch him, but Michael gets in the way. And also Manuel is trying to calm this down because it's getting out of hand. And you can also see Ashley trying to protect Emily because she's pregnant. And then Angela screams at Emily, it's not to disrespect you, but you are disrespecting her. You're disrespecting her husband. You're disrespecting her too. You're being a prick.
I think she's such an ass. She can be able to control him at the beginning, but it's never gonna be forever.
And that's right, Kobe. She cannot control him for the rest of his life. And eventually he's gonna walk out like he did. Michael, is saying that he doesn't know where his marriage is gonna end, but he doesn't even understand what's happening. And eventually they're gonna figure it out, right? We already know that Michael doesn't live with her anymore. And I'm so thankful that he left her. But back in the band, everyone's just talking and, well, technically Kobe's the only one talking. But Kobe is saying that Angela does not understand how intelligent Michael is and that eventually, he's probably going to leave her. And he's saying, every time that someone stands up for Michael, Angela thinks that everyone's on his side. He's like, I get it. Maybe Michael did some horrible stuff, but it does not justify the way that she treats him. Now they're back in the house and it is time to get alcohol in their system so we can get the good drama, because when you're drunk, you speak too much. Ed and Jasmine are in the kitchen and Jasmine is like, I really like Ashley, but I didn't really want to tell her that when you spend 4 hours at the gym and you take a whole year to file someone's paperwork for their work permit, that just seems kind of sus. Why are you waiting so long? I do feel like Ashley did it on purpose because she didn't know where her and Manuel stood. Manuel has been hiding a lot of things since the beginning. He has been lying a lot. She still hasn't properly built a relationship with his kid. Of course, she feels like Manuel is scamming her.
He has texted me privately in my social media, and he always asked me to delete the conversation. He said,
as if it couldn't get any more shadier. Manuel told her that he is being controlled. And everyone's wondering, why is Manuel asking you to delete those messages? Especially because Jasmine says that the messages were about visa process and immigration and stuff like that. So it does go to question, why are you asking her to delete those messages? What are you hiding, Manuel? Why are you being so shady? The producers cut to Ashley and Manuel, and they're in the car, and Ashley tells Manuel,
does your marriage to me depend on whether or not you can get work? Like, just answer the question.
And Manuel, instead of assuring her or telling her anything in regards to, being in love with her and wanting to be with her, he says, I do love you, but we're not going to live love forever. Not being able to work, not being able to be independent, not being able to provide for my kids. It still hurts me. And then Ashley's like,
I'm asking you a blatant question.
And of course, he goes with his favorite thing of like, I don't want to talk about this right now. Ashley and Manuel have arrived to the house, and Ashley walks in all upset already, and she's like,
es egoísta trayéndote aquí. Eso es egoísta, ¿verdad? Yeah, es egoísta, ¿verdad? Trayéndote aquí.
Walks into the room, locks herself, and she's like, I need a second alone. She literally got 1 second alone because she was back out. While she was inside the room, Manuel was sharing that $200 a month is not enough for his kids. And I agree with him. $200 a month is not enough to support multiple children back in a different country. However, how about all the extra money that you have been asking Ashley for? Does that not count towards all the money that you're sending back to Ecuador? And then he says that his sister took out a line of credit and that Ashley doesn't even know. This is the problem, Manuel, that you continue to hide things from her. Eventually, Ashley walks out.
¿Por qué te llamas egoísta?
¿Por qué estás egoísta, Gino?
Yeah.
And Manuel tells her, yes, you waited way too long. We could have spent this entire time fixing our relationship, falling in love with one another again, doing all the things properly, but instead we had to wait this entire time for me to get my work permit because you were too busy. It wasn't your priority.
Y yo dar todo de mi vida por ti.
Sorry, but those are the sacrifices that you make to be in a relationship, especially with someone that comes from a different country. This is why I get upset with you Americans at times, that you feel like you're entitled to something simply because you chose to bring someone here to this country. And he also made sacrifices. He had to leave his family behind. He had to leave his kids, Ashley, his kids. Like, do you not understand that? And just because I'm saying this, it does not mean that I agree with Manuel being so secretive. No, I want him to be open. I want him to talk to Ashley. Manuel then tells her, and Ashley's like, yes, I did. I printed it out. And they continue to go back and forth on who print, like if she did, if she didn't. Ashley said she bought a printer specifically for Manuel's paperwork. Manuel's already walking away and he does not want to continue the conversation. But here's the thing. The girls come upstairs, right? And they want to listen to everything that's happening. Liz is being like, you already filed the paperwork. So what's the problem? Like, why is this even an argument anymore? Emily is like, he just passed by here and he doesn't want to talk to you. He doesn't want to resolve this. And Ashley's like, yeah, he does this thing a lot where he likes to blame people. And remember that when you got to the house, you went upstairs, closed the door, and told him that you needed a second. But right now, when he steps out and he doesn't want to talk, then that's a problem. Manuel is not want to sit down with a bunch of people and have a conversation to try to fix things. I mean, he doesn't even want to sit down and have a conversation with you. So what makes you think he's going to sit down right here with all of you? Pretty sure that the girls are going to side with you at the end of the day. And I don't think this situation is something where we go, oh, who do you side with? This is a situation where we listen to what both of you have to say and give you tips on how to fix it. Like, that's literally what has to be done, because you know damn well you're not going to leave Manuel. There's this moment where Manuel is talking to Kobe, Patrick, and Sophie speaks Spanish.
Pero mi español no es fluente, entonces puedes hablar un poquito despacio.
But Manuel is telling us that he actually was the one that got in contact with the lawyer. He's just upset that he still hasn't gotten his work permit. But Kobe right here is where he tells them, you know,
He's right. She's also right. That's one thing you should know.
I understand why you're upset. I understand that she took too long to process the work permit, but at the same time, she did sacrifice a lot. She's been through a lot. She's been putting a lot of effort into trying to get all of this together. And you have to keep in mind that she also had to change her lifestyle to accommodate your lifestyle. So Sophie starts telling Manuel, you know, it looks like for Ashley, her priorities are her work, her fitness, and all these other things.
Yes.
¿Y su esposo?
And what about your husband, Sophie? Just saying. Manuel also says that there's been instances where he'll ask Ashley for money, but Ashley just gives it to him and she doesn't ask him like how the kids are doing, if they're okay. But Manuel, that's also your fault because you don't seem to be open to sharing your children's life. Like, you don't want to talk about it, and we have seen it in the past that you don't want to have those conversations with Ashley. So I don't necessarily put it all on her. Ashley comes into the conversation, and then Jasmine tells Ashley, you know, Manuel is saying that it seems like you don't want to know about his kids, like they're more of a burden to you. And Ashley's like, well, that's not the case. Like, I care about your children, and I think about your children more than you could possibly think of. And then she tells him that she understands that she could have done the paperwork sooner, but deep in her heart, she was under the impression that she could do it all by herself. Eventually she realized that she couldn't, but you know, she's like, now what I want is that when we get your paperwork and we're able to go back to Ecuador, I want to meet your mom. I want to meet your kids. I want to make sure that like I get the answers to all the questions that I have in regards to, you know, everything that's happening.
Los respuestas a esas preguntas, Manuel. Yo no sé qué va a pasar con nosotros.
Now, do you guys think this is actually going to happen? Is Manuel going to take her to Ecuador, or is he going to come up with an excuse not to do so? Gino's having a conversation with some of the cast members, and he's talking to them about how like he feels like him and Jasmine have taken a step in the right direction and how they're in a better place right now after everything. And Ed tells him, well, all we need you to do is to have sex with your wife. And Gino brings up, you know, again, that he can't just have sex with her when all they do is argue, and it's not little arguments. No, it's fights.
Getting in intense arguments every day.
And we have seen their fights, and they're not good. They're not like good arguments or conversations. They're actual fights.
Why on earth are you not having sex with Jasmine?
Okay.
Hey, Thais, since you're so opinionated, do you not find it creepy that your husband is so eager to know that Jasmine and Gino had sex? Patrick, again, pushing him into having sex with Jasmine. I just don't like people pressuring others to be intimate with their partners when there's a reason why they're not doing that. Jasmine enters a conversation while Gino is explaining to them how he feels about their sex life. And then Liz is like, oh yeah, we're having a healthy conversation about what healthy sex life looks like.
Then I'm sick.
Sick of this bullshit.
And then Ed is like, you know, sex could be an amazing healer, but if you want to end up like me and Liz, where I ignore her for 3 months, then you can continue to do what you're doing. And Gino's like, yeah, but then you fight with her for 3 months. Jasmine's excuse is that, you know, she cannot be a robot. She has emotions. She has feelings. She needs to have reactions to things. And yes, that's understandable. But when you get to the point where you are yelling at your partner across the room, saying that you'd rather have sex with your ex, do you really think that's a valid argument.
Don't consider just your feelings.
But what
Consider
about my needs?
Ed keeps like trying to talk over her and she keeps trying to talk over her. It just like keep talking and talking. And Ed is like, can I tell you why? Can I tell you why? And Jasmine keeps talking too. And then he's like, you see, you're not listening. You're being just like Angela. I would rather someone call me something else than for them to call me Angela. Jasmine is saying that she has been incredibly comprehensive to Gino. What do we think she's been doing the past 8 months?
You're both here. Neither one of you want to give an inch.
And Gino's like, well, I'm always in the wrong. Jasmine's like, well, I'm always in the wrong. And Jasmine starts getting frustrated. She starts yelling. Like, no one was yelling, but she started to do so because Ed does not allow her to speak. He keeps talking over her. So, of course, she's getting frustrated to the point.
Any other woman have walked around 8 months patiently being rejected.
Jasmine goes from screaming at Ed to screaming at Gino and telling him that this is all he does all the time, that it's always her fault, that he likes to pretend to be this nice person when he isn't. He's like, are you going to tell everyone all the things that you told me at home? Are you going to share all of those things with him?
Even your family is against you, Gino.
In the moment that she says that, you can tell that like Gino's face is like he was in shock that she even said those words. Jasmine is screaming at Gino while telling him that she knew the moment the trip was over that he was gonna go back to his old ways and that he was gonna be acting like this. And I just really want to know, acting like what? Because so far, Gino has not been telling you anything bad.
But at home, every day I have to deal with this.
Right now in this conversation, he hasn't done anything to grant your reaction. So why are you acting like this? The only thing that he did was say that you guys fight too much and that's why he doesn't have sex with you. Why is that a problem?
Poor Gino, he cannot have sex with you.
Jasmine tried really hard this solo to not come off as crazy for her last episode to be insane. Because all she's been doing for the past 5 minutes is just screaming at Gino. Screaming and screaming and screaming, proving his point. If your goal was to show everyone that you're a sweet person that loves Gino, that's in a happy relationship, that's trying to fix their marriage, you are failing miserably right now. Jasmine is telling Gino, if I'm such a terrible person to you, then why don't you just let me walk away? Just say it. Just tell me that you want me to walk away. Gino has told her in the past that he does not love her. He loves the companionship that she provides for him. So that definitely does suck ass. Like, I cannot imagine someone telling me that. That would break my heart.
You don't love me. Why you don't want to have sex with me, Gino?
I don't think those correlate with one another because there is couples out there that don't have sex and they're in a happy, loving relationship. That's just how the relationship works. But in this case, he has already told you the reasons why he can't have sex with you. And you're proving again that it's right. He should be intimate with you, but at the same time, you need to stop yelling at him so he wants to be intimate with you. If you were expecting any type of intimacy tonight, it's not gonna happen. Look at the person that you're becoming right now. You can also see Kobe on the side. He's just like, he's smiling because this is so awkward. Like, you're proving everyone that you are the crazy person that everyone calls you to be.
And then you remember, 2 years ago you said this. I can't.
Gino, come on. That you cannot be playing that card. If you're going to use arguments, for example, you guys got into an argument today and you're like, you know what, I can't do it after today. It's just too rough. My head is not there. But if you're bringing something up that happened 2 years ago, that's extremely stupid. Like, if it's bugging you that much, then have you guys considered going into therapy and fixing that issue itself?
Why can't you not her? You go through that every day and let's see if you say that again. I'm
glad that Gino told him something. You think just because you would have sex with your partner all the time, even if you guys argue, that Gino has to be just like you? Is so ridiculous. Ashley says that she understands where Gino is coming from and she understands why he doesn't want to have sex with her.
But what I don't understand is the length of time that it's been happening for.
And yes, I also question that because why has it been 8 months and you guys have not been intimate with one another? Are you guys literally arguing every single day? You guys already have it on your calendar, like today is fight day? Is that what we're doing? Then Gino is trying to tell her something and she spirals more. It starts screaming at him.
Love me for who I am. Love me for who I am.
Walks off and starts yelling at him, telling him that he doesn't really love her, that this is what happens, that she's been holding herself back this entire time. Jasmine, if this was going to be the reaction you were going to have after holding yourself back for 5 days, you should have just not done it. Rob comes up to Gino and he's just like, you know, you have the upper hand right now. You actually seem like the more collected person. Maybe what you need to do is go up to her, give her a hug, try to talk to her. And Gino's like, I've learned from past experiences with Jasmine that the best thing for me to do is to leave her alone until she calms down. Gino becomes emotional and you can tell that he starts crying. He's just like, you know, he's not in a good place, especially after what just happened. Upstairs, you have the girls talking to Jasmine, and Sophie goes up to Jasmine and tells her, you know, I understand where Gino is coming from. I'm just like him. When I get in a fight with Rob, I can't be intimate with him. And it's the same thing for Gino. His mind and his thing are connected to one another, and you can't just, you know, have sex with that person.
It's nothing to do with you or his attraction to you.
And back downstairs, Emily and Rob are telling Gino to fight for Jasmine. You know, Rob is saying that this is the last chance he has. He's like, you know, I've been through it. I had a chance to fight for Sophie and I didn't. And now it feels like I completely lost her. So you need to go fight for her. You need to go tell her and make sure that she understands that you are here for her. And upstairs, Jasmine is telling the girls that she's gonna give Gino a month to prove to her that he wants her. I feel like this is a leeway to the last resort. It feels so elaborated that this is how we're getting it. And we already know that they're going to be part of the last resort, that they're gonna go on to the single life. So we already know that their marriage does not end up working. And Gino goes upstairs to try to talk to Jasmine. And this is where Jasmine tells him that she's sorry. She yelled at him and she screamed at him, but that at the end of the day, it's his fault and she doesn't care and she does not give a fuck about it.
I didn't mean to yell at you downstairs, but you have to understand that I am very hurt.
This is exactly what I mean when I say that Jasmine has like crocodile tears, because you were complaining about how people perceive you. You were complaining about how you don't understand why Gino doesn't want to be intimate with you, but you just showed us why he doesn't want to be intimate with you. It's not something that we're just making up. You are showing it right now. And I really thought that it was going to be different this time around. I really thought that Jasmine was going to be a better person this time around, but it did not play out like that. And I'm not justifying any of Gino's actions of the horrible things that he has done, but you can't fight an argument of, oh, I'm not crazy, when you're screaming through the rooftop for everyone to hear you. And then you go, oh, I'm sorry that I screamed at you, but you have to understand how I feel.
Maybe if we limited the amount of time that we're together, we're gonna stop fighting.
That's going to make Gino miss her, that he's gonna wanna take her on dates and he's gonna wanna do all these things for her, because back in Panama, you know, that's how it happened. You know, he's been months without seeing her and now he finally sees her and they go do all these things. The difference also is that you guys were not together, so you guys were arguing, let's say, through messages, and then when you guys did meet up, I mean, we've seen all the explosive arguments that you guys had with one another. So I don't necessarily think that you two spending time away from each other is gonna fix your relationship. Maybe getting some therapy is going to fix your relationship. Now, there's this moment where Kobe, Ed, Thais, Patrick, and Liz are sitting all in the kitchen. Liz is like, who would have thought that you and I were going to be moderators? And she was talking to Ed.
We are problem solvers.
Why didn't you solve that problem?
I freaking love Kobe's responses. He's been so spot on almost everything on this tell-all. Ed is like, okay, fine, let me explain it, guys. Because what he means is that when a man comes home and he hears his wife have problems, what he wants to do is fix them. When in reality, what Liz needed was for him to listen and pay attention to what she had to say. And then Liz is like, oh my God, who are you? Who is this? Who is this? Like, oh my God, Liz is getting on my nerves because Liz is like, oh, this is the easiest and saddest breakup for me. How is that even possible? There's this moment where Liz, Emily, and Ed are just like talking to each other, and Ed is like, oh my God, the other day I went to Walgreens and I had this in my wallet and I got upset because I was mad at you. So I threw it and I didn't want it. So I left it at Walgreens. And then the next day I went to pick up my subscription and they gave it to me. So now I have it. And it's a photo of their engagement when it happened. And then Liz goes, oh my God.
There's a lot of sentimental meaning behind this photo.
Why do you want to keep this freaking photo? I think it's so funny that you continue to do stuff like this. Like, why do you want to continue to talk to this man? Why do you keep giving him room to think that you're interested in him? It's so ridiculous. Why do you want to keep the photo? That is so disrespectful. If it was just a simple ass photo, I'd be like, okay, I guess I get it. Like if you found it on a freaking notebook, but it's your engagement photo. Like, what in the world? Liz is in the kitchen making food for herself, right? No, she's making food for Ed. For Ed. She says that she wants closure, and I understand. I get wanting closure. I get it. That closure should have already happened. Okay, you guys should have sat down, have a freaking adult conversation, ask him the questions that you needed to ask, and stop treating him like he's your goddamn boyfriend. Why are you making him food? Why are you hugging him the way that you are? Why are you calling him baby? Why are you doing all of this crap? Why are you feeding him a freaking drink? Thankfully, Ashley reminds her.
He keeps making you look stupid.
And she's like, okay, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't go give him the tacos that I was making for him.
Would can Liz's new boyfriend be bad?
Fuck yes. Okay. 100%. 100%. So the producers cut to a scene backstage where the girls are talking about, does Liz have feelings for it? Does she not have feelings for it? And the more that we are seeing of this, you know, hidden footage, I guess, that they decided to show us at the last tell-all, it does seem like maybe Liz had a lot of feelings for Ed that day, or at least that tell-all, because
you were all cuddled, snuggled up with Liz the whole time. You guys are holding hands.
Holding hands? Hugging each other? Cuddling up with one another? I want to see footage of that, and I really hope that we get to see it. But then they cut to this other scene in the house where Ed and Liz are talking and they're just laughing. Ed hands Liz his phone and he's like, can you please unblock yourself? And then he's just like, haha, I poisoned your drink. You're gonna be dead in 2 hours. And Liz is like, haha. And both of them are just laughing like dumbasses.
This is the version I fell in love with, right?
We know what closure is, and this is not it. And then Ed tells her that he knows he's a bad person and that he knows that he can be fixed.
I will go to my grave defending the fact that you are a good person.
Do you also stand by that? After the interviews he did where he dragged you on the floor? Is that also the case? Because you're over here crying for this man, telling him you still freaking love him in a different way, but you still do, while he's embarrassing your ass. That's what he's doing, and he's going to continue because he does not care for you. Rob and Sophie are having a conversation in the room, and Rob is like making fun of how she folds clothes because it is something that we should make fun of. And then
how you feeling after today?
And she tells him that she's very overwhelmed. Well, that she was incredibly overwhelmed, that there was a lot going on. That's when she asked to be sit in different chairs and then sit next to him and borrow his jacket right after that. So she doesn't mention that. Then she tells him, yeah, but now I feel better. And Rob goes, well, I'm glad that you feel better, but
I haven't really felt like you have wanted me or needed me for a while.
And that he also feels like she doesn't care. And Sophie goes, yeah, our relationship has not been good for a long time. It's not good right now. And I don't know if we can continue to be in this relationship if things are not going to change.
I am already talking to a therapist, and I have been for a little bit.
This is why he's been so composed the entire tell-all, because he's actually been seeing a therapist. And he tells her that, you know, a lot of it has to do with their relationship. And I'm pretty sure some of it has to do with just like his childhood or some past trauma that he has.
You know, I would appreciate it, and I think it'd be good to go to like a couples therapist.
And then she says that she's willing to do whatever it's going to take for them to fix their relationship. So see them at the last resort. Everyone is saying their goodbyes, but there's two that I would like to focus on, and that is going to be Ed and Liz, and then Manuel and Ashley. For Ed and Liz, they have this like awkward hug. It was just embarrassing. I don't understand why they have so many interactions and they're so like cutesy. Why are you giving this man your time?
You're really funny when I'm not dating you.
I know.
And why are you acting like this in front of him for everyone to see in camera? Like, I just don't get it. And then you hug him for such a prolonged amount of time. It's just no, thank you. We cut to Ashley and Manuel.
Relativamente, no le he dicho a ella, pero me gustaría irme.
But he'd rather get $100 a week back in Ecuador and actually see his children than to be living in the United States and not even being able to provide for them because he doesn't have a job. And I feel his pain. I cannot imagine leaving my children and not being able to be there with them.
Pero aquí qué hago? Lavando su ropa.
But I do hope that once he gets his work permit, things change and that he can feel better about all of this going on. And on this segment of Let's Ask Stupid Questions to a Lie Detector that has been proven not to be accurate, we got 3 dumb questions just for Jasmine. That's the only person that does a lie detector. And the first one is, are you attracted to Gino? Yes, she is. Did you sleep with Dean before you came here? No, she didn't. Do you think your boobs are too big? No, she doesn't. She wants more. Backstage, Kobe asks Gino if he likes him more when Jasmine sucks his toes or when he sucks her toes.
Her sucking on my dirty, disgusting toes.
Thanks for the extra information. I love it so much, and I'm having the time of my life right now, rewatching that scene where Jasmine sucks his toes. So this is just extra stuff. It turns out that there was this moment where Gino's cousins were speaking and they were talking about, you know, Team Jasmine, Team Gino. And Ashley was trying to say, you know, this is not about Team Jasmine and Team Gino, trying to like add to the conversation. And Alexi was like, let her speak. And he did a hand gesture. Ashley is not happy about this. She thinks that it was rude of him to do that.
I met you less than 24 hours ago.
That was rude. He owes you an apology.
Who does he think he is to tell me when I need to speak or not speak? When they go back to the house, this is when Ashley decides to confront Alexi, but she does it kind of like in a stupid way because she starts talking to everyone first. And she starts like, oh yeah, I didn't have a good day. It was a bad day. And when she talks to Alexi about it, Alexi says that he didn't tell her to shut it. What he meant was that
it doesn't mean shut the up. It doesn't mean up your whatever. It just means a second.
What happened here was just a misunderstanding. Ashley thought that he was telling her to shut it. And Alexi was actually saying, you know, you should wait your turn to speak, which he thinks is normal. And just, it's miscommunication. It was just dumb. The next thing we get is Emily and Kobe got into an argument the night before the last day, and it was because Emily does not want to name the baby after Valerie, which I completely understand. That's a man that doesn't even like your wife, and Kobe wants to name the baby after his best friend. The name that Kobe wants to choose is Atom. It turns out that at the end of the day, they did end up naming the baby Atom, so it's not an issue anymore. The baby's name is Atom. It's not really an issue anymore. I don't really care for it, so we're moving on. Now for Angela and Michael. It turns out that on day 3, Angela took her daughter, the PI, and Michael to eat, and she was acting all nice just because she wanted to blindside Michael.
We got back to the hotel, and I just said, you know what? To make a long story short, give my ring.
Michael gave it to her because she was like, you're not married to me. You're married to the goddamn United States of America. And then she lost a freaking ring because she says that Michael only cares about materialistic things and he does not care about her.
I mean, the ring has been on my finger for the past 4 years.
You can even see the ring mark on Michael's finger, which of course, who's gonna care about you after all the horrible things that you have done, Angela?
We was home 4 days, I believe. 4 days, 3 days, he was gone.
Well, no shit, he was gone after the freaking tell-all where your abuse was televised and everyone got to see how horrible you are. So, of course, blames him for leaving after that. It's so stupid, Angela. Now it's Michael's turn to say what happened, and he says that when they got back to the house after the tour, as usual, Angela got upset at him. They got into a big argument, and when she left to run some errands, that's when Michael decided to grab his backpack, get his essentials, and get the fuck out of there. He was walking 5 hours in an incredibly rural area in deep South Georgia. That's where Michael was. Of course, at this point, Michael's legs were, like he said, it felt like they were going to fall apart. But then he says that there was someone very kind that allowed him to use his phone. So he called his friend, and then his friend was able to lead him to the closest bus station. And then
I spent about 18 hours down to go to where I am now.
He is safe, that he's in a good place, and you know that he was here with the right intention of being with Angela. But after seeing all the horrible things that Angela has done, you know, it is better for him to not be with her. So Angela says that she's gonna see Michael next,
either getting on a plane or in a courtroom.
See you in the courtroom, Angela, and I hope Michael wins. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I am so happy that we finally finished Happily Ever After. I was so done with it, and I'm pretty sure you guys are too. So I will see you guys next week with 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days new season, and we are getting all new cast members, so I am excited. I love when we get new people. I hate when we repeat and repeat and repeat the same people over and over again. But as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. It's finally over. It's finally over. It's finally over. It's finally over. Oh, I know. Look at this beautiful dog. Okay, bye.